Welcome to the deep dive. We take the sources, cut through the noise, and give you the knowledge you need. Today, well, it's a bit unusual. We're not wading through research papers. We're doing a deep philosophical dive, pulling insights from just one place. The lyrics of Thieves by Roan Ash.
Yeah, it's definitely not our typical source material, but honestly, these lyrics, they lay out a really focused, potent argument about value. It's this sharp contrast, almost like a philosophical shortcut. The idea that pursuing anything worthwhile means you're inviting risk, and that a life of total safety, well, it's basically documented as empty.
That's the paradox, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what we're unpacking for you today. What this song claims is the real cost of going after something meaningful. It really pushes back against that, tendency to just want comfort above everything.
Right. It immediately sets up this conflict, the active life versus the passive one. And that passive life, the so-called safe path, it's defined right away by what it lacks, by exclusion.
Okay, so let's start there. The path of least resistance. The lyrics give us this image. Never taking a chance, sit on the sidelines, watching the whole world dance.
Mm-hmm.
And it's powerful, I think, because it's not just doing nothing. It's watching. You're there, but disconnected.
Exactly. And what's really striking is how the source links that safety directly to isolation. It just comes right out and says it. The lonely road is an easy road.
Mm-hmm.
The implication is that real ease, that total lack of friction. You only get that if you sort of opt out of engaging with life's messy parts. You're safe because nothing that really matters can touch you.
But hang on, doesn't that sound, well, tempting? Especially now. With all the pressure and anxiety out there, choosing an easy road, avoiding conflict, sounds pretty good. Why should someone feeling overwhelmed reject that?
Because the source is very specific. It's not just easy. It's lonely. That's the trade-off. And the moment you consider stepping off that easy, lonely road, the lyrics immediately tell you what to expect. Resistance. It pivots straight into these really active metaphors. Love is war, like a lion's roar, danger from the distance.
Ah, okay.
It suggests that going after anything important, love, ambition, whatever, it naturally attracts struggle. It's part of the deal. That loneliness of the easy road is precisely what you exchange for the complexity of actually being involved in life.
So the takeaway here is that danger and resistance aren't presented as like failures or problems to be eliminated. They're more like necessary side effects of playing the game, of being engaged.
Precisely, yeah. If nothing's pushing back, maybe nothing meaningful is actually happening. And if we sort of accept that premise, that safety often equals solitude, then the lyrics push us to the next logical point, which is, how do we figure out what's actually worth risking that solitude for?
Right. And that brings us to the core logic, this conditional structure that runs through the whole thing. It gives us these two really sharp statements, almost like rules, defining how you act based on value.
The first one is a really strong command almost. It ties possession to action. If you got something worth something, then you got something to prove. And I think that's deeper than just, showing off. It implies that value isn't just something you get and then lock away. It needs constant validation through action.
It feels like the weight of responsibility, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you have something valuable, a talent, a relationship, a project, whatever, it doesn't just exist passively. Its value, its continuation, depends on you stepping up, defending it, nurturing it, proving its worth.
Yes, exactly. The source basically says the only way to truly have the value is by actively proving you deserve it or are worthy of it. And then the flip side of that logic is just stark, brutally simple. If you got nothing worth nothing, then you got nothing to lose.
Okay, but that sounds like freedom, right? We romanticize that idea, the person with nothing to lose. But the source here seems to argue that kind of freedom is, well, just another word for being empty.
It absolutely does. It sets it up that way. Sure, having nothing to lose gives you perfect security. Why? Because there's no target, nothing for anyone or anything to take. But then the metaphors that come right after that line show the result of being in that safe state. You get security, yes, but the price is worthlessness.
And this is where it shifts, I think. From abstract ideas to these really concrete physical images, the lyrics give worthlessness a shape. Using these metaphors of things not happening, of stagnation, these are the bits that really stick.
They're very effective because they use these common sense failures to illustrate a life without purpose or value. We got three clear ones.
Okay, first the mechanical one. The trucks don't drive the dead-end highway. It's like if you choose a path that goes nowhere, all the energy, the commerce, the life just bypasses you. Why would anyone go there?
Right. No progress on a dead end.
Yeah.
And there's the biological failure. Very direct. Fruit don't grow on fallen trees.
Yep.
You can't generate new value, new life from something that's collapsed or dead. If the foundation's gone or you're not putting in the energy, No reward, no harvest.
And the third one feels more about spirit or courage. Dim it hearts don't find the fast lane.
Yes, it connects back to that idea of taking a chance, a lack of passion, maybe lack of courage, a dim at heart. It doesn't just keep you safe, it actually blocks your access. It keeps you out of the fast lane where the opportunities, the real engagement happens.
So stagnation, decay, and maybe cowardice.
Yeah, that triad. It all builds up to the main point, the central metaphor, the title itself. Empty houses don't get robbed by thieves.
Okay, this is the line. This is the one that flips everything on its head, right? Because we're programmed to see the thief as the enemy, the threat to avoid at all costs. But this lyric suggests maybe the absence of the thief is the real failure.
That's the paradox right there. Think about it. What does a thief target? Assets. Value. They're like a really harsh market indicator. They only spend their effort where there's something worth taking. So if your house, your life, is completely ignored by the forces of risk, challenge, destruction, it means there's nothing inside valuable enough to attract that attention.
Wow. Okay. So the risk of being robbed, in this view, is actually the strongest sign that you've built something worthwhile. It means that danger from the distance we talked about, it's actually confirmation you're in a game that matters.
Exactly that. We put so much energy into building walls, metaphorical security systems. This source makes you ask, what if your perfect safety is just proof your house is empty? What if the biggest compliment isn't being left alone, but having something, a challenge, a competitor, a risk that wants what you have?
That completely reframes how we think about effort then. Because this life, the one with proven worth, it sounds messy. It's definitely not the easy road. And the source seems okay with that messiness. It embraces it.
It does. It talks about the cost directly with that image of paying dues in muddy boots. The struggle, the hardship, the dues and the mud, they aren't framed as just unfortunate difficulties. They're presented as the necessary ingredients for creating your story. The mess is the proof of effort. It's the documentation.
And the outcome of all that struggle is interesting, too. It says it's bound to leave behind a little piece of hell or a story to tell about what you did with your time. So you either leave scars from the fight or you leave a narrative about the effort. It's not about leaving nothing. It's about the kind of mark you leave.
The struggle itself becomes the legacy. But there's an important distinction made, too, a warning almost. The lyrics contrast this meaningful struggle, this directional effort, with just chaotic movement. They warn about chasing the chief thrill, only to end up spinning them back wheels, not going anywhere.
All right. That changes the motivation, doesn't it? It means you can be incredibly busy, generating lots of heat and noise spinning those wheels. But if it's not aimed at proving or defending value, then it's just aimless motion. You might feel like you're moving fast, but you're still essentially in that empty house.
That's a really crucial distinction, I think, especially for the listener. The source pushes us to audit our own efforts. Are we paying dues for something specific? Is our effort directional? Or are we just spinning our wheels for a temporary thrill, going nowhere fundamentally? Because it's only that purposeful, directional motion driven by value that creates the story, leaves the mark, and yes, attracts the thief.
This has been, wow, a really dense extraction from what just looks like a song on the surface. So to quickly recap the core insight for you, this philosophy ties value, risk, and continuous effort together. They're inseparable. Pursuing something worthwhile guarantees resistance. And that resistance, the thieves outside your door, is actually your best proof that you're living a life of substance.
Yeah, it's a radical challenge to our instinct to just seek comfort and ease above all else. It says true worth actually invites opposition, whether that's the lion's roar of conflict or the calculated risk posed by the thief. If your life feels perfectly safe, perfectly quiet, the source compels you to ask, what valuable thing might you have given up to achieve that silence?
So, if the safest life, according to this, is defined by having nothing worth losing, we'll leave you with this question to think about until our next deep dive. What risks or challenges are present in your life right now? What thieves might be circling your goals, your relationships, your possessions? And could those very challenges be the clearest, most undeniable proof of what you value most? And what action are you taking right now to prove that value?